Currently, there's no way to play operations mode solo in Delta Force, but so many people want to play solo, especially when things like this keep happening to them.
We have limited use.
Anyone got mics? No? Okay. And holy both of them are going in different directions. That's squad fill for you. Now that doesn't mean you can't go into a match by yourself though, it just means you'll be up against teams of 3, and more times than not, you'll most likely die to these teams since there are no self-revives for you, and the other team can still revive their down teammates, and you're just automatically dead right away. I'm also sure there's a ton of people watching this that are acting like, it's super easy to kill teams of 3 geeks, you're just bad. Okay, yeah, you're a natural John Rambo, I get it, but for 99% of the player population, it's just so hard to take down these teams of 3. So today I'm going to tell you all my tips and tricks on how I survive a good chunk of my raids solo, how I make a bunch of money, and how I even do get some good kills here and there. But it is very strategic when I do actually shoot at other players on the map. It's not just all willy-nilly like you, John Rambo. You go get him, Tiger. Actually, not a lot of people know that you can play this game without a squad fill. So how do you do that is you just go and pick a map, whatever map you want, and then you confirm all this stuff. And right here, you see where it says squad fill? It's usually checked. All you have to do is uncheck it and you will load into the map by yourself. Okay, so first things first, what character do we choose? There's so many with different abilities. It's kind of hard, but to me, there are only 2 you should be choosing, and I don't even think it's really that close. If you're doing 0 to hero runs where you're only starting with a knife, and I know that's crazy since you do get a lot of free basic gear tickets, but every once in a while, I just like a good challenge. If this is you and you're only starting with a knife, I would always say to pick Stinger. You won't have any meds, and the smokes are a great way to not only get out of jams against players, but you can use them to confuse the bots, run up on them, and execute them so you get their gear. But in every other situation, I would always say to use D-Wolf. He's just so versatile, and his ultimate ability, that's his exoskeleton, makes it so not only can you run to extract fast, so you can get to those high traffic areas later on in the game and, you know, just see what's left, or maybe they didn't, you know, pick through everything right, or they just left some goodies there. But you don't have to worry about if you can make it to extract in time or not, because it lets you sprint for like 24 seconds. But the thing I use it most for is getting out of sticky situations and putting distance between you and the 3-man squad that knows you're there. Let's take this situation that happened on stream earlier today, and I'll explain why the exoskeleton is so good. So we're in here super late, right? I know the hotel is super scary, especially as a solo, but this is on normal mode, and I'm coming here late because look at all these goodies, right? Not everyone can carry all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's grab some of this loot here. But then this happens. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but Luna's bow does get triggered. Someone's shooting it off to see if someone's in this direction. So I know a team's coming or they're passing through or something. So I'm looting as fast as I can. It's just who I am. I'm a little loot goblin. But I'm not going to panic too much because I am on the 2nd floor here. There's only 2 different ways to come to the 2nd floor, and I'm just taking angles. Like, that's what I'm doing, is I'm just waiting and seeing if they come for me, and I'm just going to hold an angle and wait. So a little bit of time passes, and yeah, they are downstairs. I can hear them moving around. They're trying to figure out where I am. I'm still holding this angle because if they take the stairs, I got them. So this is how it goes. Okay, so I do down that guy, and because they'll be panicking so much, this is my chance, right? This is the chance. I throw that exoskeleton ultimate ability down, and I just beeline it for extract. I get out of here, and it saves my life, you guys. Like, me being able to move this fast to get a bunch of a space between us is so huge. Like, that just saved our lives. I don't care about that person's loot. I just care about extracting. So they're going to be probably panicking that their guy's down. They're going to try to figure out angles or something. Guess what? I'm already out of there and they have no clue where I am. And on top of that, he still has smokes of his own, which is unreal. That's one of the main reasons I love Stinger, is You have smokes and this exoskeleton, plus you have the triple blaster, which is kind of like having grenades at your disposal. So if there's a lot of AI, you can just, plunk those in the middle of them. Or if someone's hiding in a bush or you think someone's hiding somewhere, you can actually just throw those there just to be safe. For me, it's a no-brainer of who the best operator is currently for solo play. I just think D-Wolf is just best all around. Speaking of who to choose, if you do like this video up until now, I hope you choose this channel to subscribe to. It's free for you guys. It does mean the world to me. I'll be making a ton more Delta Force content, so maybe ring the bell, all that stuff so you can get notified, but let's continue with our video here. When it comes to what gun to use, there are a lot of decisions. It's like, oh, should I use this? Should I just use whatever gun you're really comfortable with? But I will say when you're modding it, there are two things that I'm going to tell you to do. One, it's kind of obvious, use a suppressor. Their ones are 90,000, but don't use those ones. You can use the 31,000, the 32,000. There's one that's like 10,000. Just use some sort of suppressor on your weapon, okay? The other thing I'm going to tell you is if you are going to use something like say this recon, right? Let's just say you want to use some sort of adjustable sight so that you can get, short range and medium range, or short range and long range. Remember, there's glint in this game. So right here on most optics, there's going to be a kill flash. This right here is very much needed. It significantly reduces glint visibility. So it might be 20,000 and it doesn't do too much to the gun itself. It actually hinders most of the time. It's just really good to have on every weapon because you don't want to be showing that sniper glint a lot. So always put this on there too. Like most extraction games, it's all up to kind of what map you're going to play. You're going to play Zero Dem, use something with a high fire rate. You don't need an optic really. You can use something with a red dot and just something that shoots fast and hard, right? That sounded weird, but anyways, then if you're going to play Alley Grove, maybe choose to use an optic so you can glass areas and know if they're safe or not. It's all up to you. Use whatever you're comfortable with though. That's the most important thing. If you're comfortable with the weapon, you're more likely to succeed. When it comes to my philosophy of what you should be wearing armor-wise or rig-wise or backpack, use whatever you have. Chances are you will die, so don't use anything that you're scared to lose. But also the things you really, really do need is obviously field first aid kits. I think they're just, obviously I'm playing D-Wolf, so you need some sort of heals. The other thing is I'm using this in my pooper, which is the field surgical kit. Or if you want, you can use this quick use surgical kit, but I usually keep them in my pooper. And then when I find something, I can just take them out and then put the good stuff inside. But the things that I now have started using that I think are invaluable are these right here. The perception booster. So right now they are only 12,000 on the flea market, really cheap. And I'm using these right at the start of raids. So I have one, as you can see, in my pockets, and I'm popping them right away because I've just noticed that more times than not, I would say 50% of the teams get wiped out within the first 5 minutes. And that's because, let's admit it, the spawns are kind of garbage. They're very obvious. Once you learn the spawns, you know where to run or where someone will be. So the perception booster will save you by hearing where someone's coming from, and it will save you. Trust me. So not only do I have a perception booster in my pocket to use right away, but I also have one in my safe box right here, as you can see. And the reason for that is just later on in the raid, if I'm going to like a high traffic area that has really good loot, even though I'm going to go late into the raid, say to the hotel, even though I'm going to go there late, I'm going to use it then. Or if I'm in a sticky situation where I think there are people around me, I'll just use it whenever I need to. But I'll always have it in my safe box. It's only 12,000. Again, if I need to, I can just take it out and put something in its place when I find it. The other thing is ammo. It's all up to you. Right now, I'm currently using blue ammo, and this is a single fire gun. It's semi-auto, so I only put a little bit up here. When I need more, I'll put it. But this stuff's expensive for me right now, and I am pretty cheap, so I keep the good ammo in my safe box. That's just me. Let's talk about general strategies for when you first start a map. Before you land, you can see where you're going to start out with this white square here. So you can make a quick game plan, and the game plan should always be not to hit any of the POIs with names. I know that sounds harsh, and you'll be like, but Geekseh, how am I supposed to get all that juicy loot? You're not supposed to. Being at such a disadvantage means you have to be patient, go into those high traffic POIs later on, and know the loot spots better than your enemies. I've played this game over 40 hours in like the past 5 days, and I've played easily more than half my games alone. Doing this, I've learned all those loot spots that not a lot of people know about yet, and that's why you should sub to me, because I will be making videos on those spots soon. Just saying. As a solo player though, you are going to get the sloppy seconds or even thirds, but don't worry, you'll still make money doing this. You'll even be able to get the leftovers from gunfights, and sometimes it's some really good loot. So when you first start, just take in your surroundings, play safe, and play a lot slower. This brings me to my next tip, and it's something not a lot of people know about, and that's that cap locks is one of the most important buttons for not only just a solo player, but for players in general in Delta Force. It makes your player creep walk. So when you crouch, then you hit cap locks, you barely make any sound, but you can still move around. You are moving at a snail's pace, but you won't alert anyone in your vicinity. Now let's talk about if you know someone is also a solo player. From earlier in today's stream, this happened right here. Okay, we got one guy. So here's the thing, this guy, if he turns into a box, I'll know he's alone, but he might have a buddy with him. So we'll wait. His buddy might just pick him up. If he goes to a box, we'll know for sure. Nope, he has buddies. Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait for him to start trying to revive him, and then we'll... Who's that on the road there? So eventually his body did turn into a box. We were able to loot him, and we got all the goodies. I felt like I could shoot him because I was in an advantage where I knew, you know, even if he turns on me and attacks me, I have that high ground. I can just move behind me, and I had position over him. But for also the people that are saying I'm just camping, I'm not. I don't play solo where I'm just camping one area and waiting for people to run by. I don't believe in that. I don't think you should do it. I hate extract campers. I hate campers in general. But if you do know someone is near you, it's a totally different ball game. That's tactically waiting. That's just, I feel like it's totally different from ratting. Here's another clip from my stream the other day where I'm in admin near like the last 5 minutes or something. I'm just collecting, you know, some loot ski, and I hear some running, and I know I'm at an advantage, so I take the shot. My bag now. It's my bag now. Okay, we got to loot and scoot. I did kind of really mess up here by not looking to see if his body turned into a box right away. So he could have had players when I turned around this corner. But I just had a strong feeling that he was doing the same thing as me because I did hear one other person while I was looting. But yeah, this just ended up being actually a good thing, but it could have went really, really bad also. The main thing I want to drill into your head though is you are going to die over and over and over again. It's just the inevitable. When it comes to solo mode, it's you against teams of 3. It's going to happen. But when you do start snowballing those extracts, it feels unbelievable. Remember, you also do have a lot of gear tickets. Use them up. You get them refreshed over time, so you might as well use them on these runs. I just don't want you to get discouraged or get down in the dumps when you play solo, because it's just inevitable. You will die. If you do want to see a solo only mode though in this game, I know the Chinese version has solos on the weekends. So I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they have a solo only mode on the normal maps. Only I think it's Zero Dam and Lyala Grove. If you play normal, you can play solo on the weekends. But if you want this to be a permanent thing and come to this game, they even said in a podcast, go to their Discord and tell them, let them know you want a solo only mode. So please, if I'm begging you, please tell them, because I have been. This game has been only out for like 6 days, so we're still early on learning this game, learning how to play solo, but I also know a lot of you guys probably have tips and tricks, and if you don't mind sharing them, because we are a community here, put it down in the comments below, help everyone out. I do want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope I helped in some way or you learned something new. And if you did, think about subscribing. It is free for you guys. It means the world to me. I do stream most times at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come by, hang out, twitch.tv/Geekseh, or on this YouTube channel I stream also. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later.